I decided that I wanted to learn about how an Arduino works and some basic coding because I wanted to learn more about electronics and be able to move on to more complex things with an Arduino. So the first thing I did was ordered an Arduino, and you can buy them off the Arduino website, or you can find companies that sell Arduinos on this website, but there are lots of fake Arduinos out there, so you have to be careful. So then I had to get all the parts I needed. So what you need to do some basic projects with an Arduino are a breadboard, which looks like this, and a USB cable which connects the Arduino to your computer, and then some little LEDs and some jumper wires. And the one thing to note, the LEDs do have a right side. The longer leg is the input. And so after you have all your things, you need to download the software from this website. So you go to the Arduino website and you press software, and then you can get to this and you download it for whatever type of computer you have, and then you will get something that will look like this, and this is where you type in your code. So to learn what to do, I used an Instructables, which was very helpful, and it started with telling you which things in the Arduino do what. So these here, this is 3 volts of power and 5 volts of power to ground, and the first thing I did was hook the Arduino up to my computer, and I just turned it on by setting up a simple circuit hooking it up to the 3 volts of power and the ground. Don't hook up a small LED to the 5 volts without a resistor because it will blow up. So where did I put it? So I just hooked it up to that and set up a simple circuit, and that made the light turn on. And then my next job was to learn how to do some coding. And to do that, I use the Instructables. Here is how I hooked it up to make the light turn on. So I have it in the 3 volts going here, and that's the longer leg, and then this is hooked up to the ground, and that is plugged into my laptop, which is providing the power. And after doing this, I was learning how to code, so this Instructables walks you through it. Anatomy of an Arduino sketch, and it explains what each of the functions are, and then provides you with some examples. So the first thing I did was blink, making it blink. And if you don't want to write all that out, the basic codes, if you go to examples in the Arduino software, and then here we have basics and blink, and that will just, here's the code to make a single light blink, and here is me doing that, and there you can see my laptop where I have the code written, and it's just a simple circuit there. And when you're using the codes here, when you're making it blink, instead of using these pins here with just the simple 3 volt and 5 volt, you will be using these pins, and those are what you can use to code. And so after I learned to make it blink, the next step was making it fade. And so make the LED fade in and out. And to do that, only these pins here with this little mark next to the number can do that, because it uses a different type of method. So you write out the code, and then here is my LED fading in and out. And you can adjust the code to make it do everything faster, longer, or with more LEDs. For example, here I have several LEDs blinking at different times, one after the other. So Instructables is a really good website, and I found a really good tutorial. This one, it's just called Beginning Arduino by this person here, and it was very helpful, almost too detailed. And it starts with breadboard, and there we are. So I really like doing this project. I ran into a couple of troubles. Like, I actually did plug in an LED to the 5 volt, and it destroyed one of the LEDs. So I always use a resistor. The coding pins, they are 5 volts, so you have to use a resistor when you are using them. You can see I have my resistors right here, and the resistors just kind of limit the power that goes directly to the LED. Learning how a breadboard works was definitely important, because the way it's set up only works if you've got the components on the breadboard set up correctly. And I think that's it. This is what I did for my 4-week project. I really like doing it, and I'm looking forward to moving on and doing more complex things with my Arduino.